listening to the Canadian Destroyer Wrestling Podcast with your host, the Oatmeal Hero on YouTube.
What do they say? The shining star of the Caribbean? Man, everybody knows Jamaica's better than that. Anyways, welcome to another edition of the Canadian Destroyer Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Oatmeal Hero, right here on YouTube. So we just finished Payback from last night. Payback was the Fallout pay-per-view of the WWE WrestleMania, and to believe it or not, it wasn't actually a bad pay-per-view. It was actually pretty damn decent. You know, it did start off in the kickoff show because, you know, they tend to put, I don't know why they've been putting the US title in the kickoff show, but regardless, the first match which was featured on the WWE Payback or pre-show was between Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin. Now, this has been a pretty interesting, I guess you could call it a miniature rivalry. It's actually produced quite a bit of a good storyline. You do have Baron Corbin, who is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner, versus the show-off Dolph Ziggler. These two, on Raw, it wasn't that great of a match, but I have to admit, on Payback, this match was pretty damn good, pretty damn epic. Really good spots in here. Ziggler did come up with the victory, and so on and so forth. Baron Corbin, I just hope he doesn't go back to his late NXT days, and when I say that, I mean losing. But you know what? This is definitely a rivalry which they do have to extend. I wish it was actually in the pay-per-view because it was actually pretty damn entertaining, as a matter of fact. Let's just hope it actually rides itself out to like maybe June, July-ish. I think by that time we should probably get tired of it, and you know, Baron Corbin and Ziggler will move on to bigger and better things. Yeah. So second one which was actually featured was the United States Championship on the line with Kalisto against Ryback. Now this was a match. Last month on WrestleMania wasn't that great. Still entertaining, but it wasn't that great. But I have to admit, this new era, this new era of quality matches, I have to be very impressed with. Just a brand new direction what the WWE has been going with. I am definitely a supporter of it. I actually have been watching Raw a little bit earlier than normal, but not as early as I want to, but it's still a little bit earlier than normal. I don't have to put it to the back burner. But anyways, besides the point, it's not about me, guys, it's about you. So let's go back to this United States Championship match, Kalisto versus Ryback. Like I said before, very good match. Obviously, the big guy versus the little guy, Kalisto. Holy moly, this is a match what should have been on the main show. And I like the fact that Ryback on his belt, it said the pre-show stopper, which I found hilarious. Because lately he hasn't been on the show. It's always been the pre-show. But regardless, this match has its up and down, amazing spots. It was like, you know, you had Ryback showcasing his strength. You had Kalisto showcasing his resilience and high flying aerial attacks, and this I definitely say was probably my favorite match of the whole entire night, believe it or not. It was hard for me to say from last month from WrestleMania because I wasn't really too interested in it, but I think over the weeks it's developed to be a little bit better, and I think the end result of them actually meeting at Payback was probably totally worth it. It's a shame this match never made it to the main show, but to have everybody there in the arena probably already seated, added to the electricity which was already going on inside of the ring there. Like I said, Kalisto did pick up the victory over Ryback by hitting the Sicilian del Sol. That was a really good sequence. If you had the chance to actually watch that, I suggest you do. You will not be disappointed. So therefore, out of all the matches so far, out of all the matches that were shown last night, this was my favorite match. Way to go, Kalisto, Ryback. You know, maybe they'll actually extend this whole rivalry. Maybe it'll actually go on to summer. I would like to see how they could top this, because like I said, this was actually a very interesting and entertaining match. I hope we get more quality product out of these two here, because these two actually do work very well together. We always see the David versus Goliath, and it, you know, tends to get a little bit boring after a little bit of time, but I have to admit, so far this one here has definitely piqued my interest very much so. So we moving right along to the pay-per-view. New Day comes out, they say all what they need to say about the tag team tournament, so on and so forth. So having said that, we have Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Von Villains. Now, to be completely honest with you, if you have not heard already, Enzo Amore was injured in this match. Now, he was thrown into the ropes. It looked like he tried to slide into maybe through the bottom, but completely missed the timing. His face ended up hitting the second rope. He therefore fell out of the ring and hit his head, and he was out cold. His eyes were wide open. It was actually really scary to watch. Definitely something you don't want to see as a wrestling fan. We know that those guys put their bodies on the line to entertain us, and trust me, as a wrestling fan for God knows how long, we definitely do appreciate it. Nonetheless, this is, like I said, this is something you don't want to see, but unfortunately it was live TV, so we did see it. So yeah, it looked like he did knock himself out when he hit the second rope, and he tumbled out of the ring and hit his head first against the mat. Now, when you're already knocked out, you could fall whichever way. Thank God he didn't break anything, because that would have really sucked. We didn't want to see like another Owen Hart accident or anything like that. God rest your soul, Owen. But yeah, really scary moment. Definitely a scary moment. Like I said, he was out. His eyes were wide open. Like the lights were on, but nobody was sure as hell home. It was a little disturbing. So I kind of want to see how they're gonna play this angle from what you've heard so far today, or if you didn't hear anything, or maybe you have, depending on where you are and how hard you surf social media, or even the dirt sheets and so on and so forth. Enzo Amore was admitted to the hospital, as you do know from last night. He actually has been cleared today. He did suffer a concussion. Yes, it is true. I hope it's not as bad to the extent as Corey Graves, because that was another star who I really truly admire seeing in the ring, especially in NXT. And it's a shame that his career came up short. Now, we don't want to see another guy go down like that, because a concussion, as we already know, you don't want to fool around with something like that. You know what I mean? It's really, 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 it's a soft spot. And the amount of lawsuits you hear and especially in the NFL or even in the NHL, like, it's an injury you don't want to sustain as an athlete, because it could definitely shorten your lifespan. So WWE All Day 21 has been released from the hospital. He has been cleared by the hospital, but he has not been cleared by the WWE medical officials. So we're going to see how this plays out. I hope he doesn't really rush into it coming back, because like I said, it's something you don't want to play around with. Like, yeah, we understand you do want to entertain the fans, and I want to see him, and I want to see him entertain the fans. I want him to entertain as much as he possibly can, but take it easy, Enzo. There are other nights. Your health comes first. You know what I mean? Like, I hope we see you in the ring very soon. So having said that, if you haven't figured it out already, this thing ended in a no contest. So neither Enzo and Big Cass or the Von Villains end up winning. Complete no contest. So let's see how Monday Night Raw, how they actually play out on this. So moving right along, we had the grudge match, which has been happening for 14 years straight. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This is a rivalry. This is amazing. Don't you ever notice, or you ever get that feeling when you see Sami Zayn and you see Kevin Owens go at it? It's like Peter Griffin and the giant chicken. Is it just me, or that's what I see? Like, I always see them go back and forth, hitting each other with everything they got. It's like, I hope a Canadian wins, but real shit, this match here, really good. This is a rivalry which I don't even see them playing down for a long time, because you could just feed to it and keep feeding it, and the monster and the beast will get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I really hope they don't kill it. I know, spoiler alert, that Kevin Owens said that now that he has Sami Zayn out of the picture now, he can finally refocus on claiming what belongs to him, and that is the WWE Intercontinental Championship. So like I did say, spoiler alert, Kevin Owens did defeat Sami Zayn in a great, phenomenal match. And I hope this doesn't end. And if you did see the ending of this match here, the interview was Byron Saxton when he called them in. It's pretty funny. Like, I have to admit, Canadians are pretty freaking hilarious. So yeah, so in the end of it, he did invite himself to do color commentary, which segues into the next match, what we had, which was the Intercontinental Championship versus, whoa, kill my whole freaking song now. Jesus. Anywho, segueing into the next match here, you had the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, versus Cesaro. Now, I honestly thought this match was going to be a little bit of a lamer, but to be honest with you, it still ended up being pretty damn good overall. I was entertained by it. So now we're going to the end of the match here. We have Cesaro, who's running things on Miz. You have Kevin Owens on the side there doing his color commentary, and all of a sudden you see a really shocked look on Kevin Owens' face, and out of nowhere, out of your left side of your screen, comes Sami Zayn, and they're going back at it like Peter Griffin versus the giant chicken. So they're fighting all over the place. They're kicking each other all over the place. They're punching all over the place, throwing each other over barricades and stuff while the match is still going on. Cesaro did end up doing this big Cesaro swing right on Miz and flipped him around and put him in a crossface. Now, this fight between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have escalated and has been brought into the ring. The referee is trying to get control over it and trying to push them out of the ring, and in this same time you have The Miz, who's fully tapping out to the crossface. Technically we should have had a brand new Intercontinental Champion, but unfortunately, you know how the WWE is, ladies and gentlemen. If that would have happened, then the storyline would have sucked, now would it? WWE would have been out of business for God knows how long. So having said that, there Cesaro catches this, pushes both of them out of the ring. Miz, being the smart man that he is, rolls him up, holding the tights, gets the 3 count and dips with Maurice. Smart man. Kevin Owens finds his way back into the ring, starts hitting people, throwing left, right, and center, pop up power bombs to everybody, kicking people, and he holds up that belt, saying that he wants back his title. He wants back his title. That's his title. Intercontinental Championship is his title. So moving right along, now we have the next match here, which Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. Now, I do have to admit, I did like the build up to this match. It was great. The Ambrose Asylum taking over. Oh my god, what's this? Oh my goodness, what's it? Oh damn it, what's the name of that show again? See, that's what happened. It was so insignificant. That's what happens when the shows get canceled. You just forget about it. The highlight reel. See how fast I forgot about it? Totally forgot about it. So the Ambrose Asylum took over the highlight reel. They thought about the scarf. Next thing you know, he got DDT'd. And then next thing you know, they keep fighting all over the place. And then next week, they keep fighting all over the place. And the Ambrose Asylum keeps having guests. And Jericho keeps interrupting and keeps getting hit. It's a back and forth. Like I said, the build-up was great. I liked the build-up to this match. The match by itself, though, not so much. Wasn't exactly the greatest match. I swear I've seen both competitors in this ring produce a higher grade or higher quality match than what they brought to Payback. I was a little bit disappointed of this match because I think this match had massive potential to be a great match or probably even match of the night. But I don't know why, what the deal was. Maybe it's because I was still thinking about Enzo and what happened. It was just really weird. Like, you know, the people weren't really into it as well too. I don't think I was the only one who feels that way, but it just lacks something. Like, you know, there just could have been more. That is the theme, folks. There just could have been more, and unfortunately it didn't deliver as much as it should have. But anyways, besides the point, Dean Ambrose did pick up the victory over Chris Jericho. The WWE says it was thrilling, but let me tell you, it was not that thrilling at all. That is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie what the WWE has said, that it was a thrilling match. It was a match, yes. Was it a great match? No. Was it a match? Yes. That's where it stops. I hope they do something on Monday Night Raw which actually produces better freaking quality substance than this shit what they gave us here last night. Moving right along was to another match that I was highly looking forward to, was for the WWE Women's Championship, and that was between Natalya and Charlotte. So Charlotte did have Ric Flair in the corner, as always, you know, daughter, father moments, because that's all cute. And Natty actually had the Bret the Hitman Hart, a Canadian icon, my favorite wrestler ever. It's a shame that the match ended the way how it did. It was basically a outcome of the 1997 Montreal Screwjob. Charlotte put Natty in a hold, figure four, really half-assed it, and then the bell rang. Charles Robinson dips out of the ring, grabs the belt, hands it to Charlotte. They try to escape. Not on their watch. So long story short, what happened was you had Charlotte and Ric Flair being put into the sharpshooters simultaneously in the ring, both tapping, Charlotte screaming for her daddy and trying to reach over to her daddy. Eventually they did let go and they retreated with the tail stuck in between her legs. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Natalya has deserved this push for quite some time, and I don't understand why she can't win the WWE Women's Championship. It's a little frustrating because she's such a great competitor. I know we all want Sasha Banks. I know we want the Divas Revolution to take over and you know, just skyrocket into this new era, but let's call a spade a spade. Natalya has been screwed out of the WWE Women's Championship and its picture for quite some time. You have the fans who support her now, who are completely behind her back and who actually want to see her succeed, and I want to see her succeed, and it's only fair that we actually do see her succeed, because you know what, she's a great competitor, she's a great wrestler, probably the best women's wrestler on the roster right now, and they don't want to make her win the championship. Like I said, you know what, eventually the other divas, new or old, will eventually win the championship, but I would like to see Natalya go on a Divas Championship, or not Divas Championship, get that damn title out of here. I want to see her go on that run because I think she could put on better quality matches. But don't get me wrong, Charlotte is a ring general when it comes to wrestling as well too. Both of these ladies in the ring, if you haven't noticed since Payback, have put on spot on quality matches. It's not a washroom break, it is time for you to pay attention to the television and turn it up a little bit, because this is something which you're going to be interested in. That's the era that we're in right now. Quality match, amazing match, probably one of the better matches of that night. And it's a shame the outcome is what it was. But hey, you know what? I hope there's a rematch down the road. I hope it's no stupid stipulations. I think the only stipulation they should ever incorporate into a stipulation match, if it had to be needed, was the fact that they need to get Ric Flair out of the damn corner of Charlotte so it could actually be one-on-one and see who the better woman is. And that's how we'll determine the next WWE Women's Champion. Having said that, moving right along here, Vince McMahon is supposed to make his decision on who's actually going to run Raw. Even though Shane McMahon did lose at WrestleMania, he still managed to some way, somehow run Raw, even though he lost, which is crazy. So what was the point of having the match, ladies and gentlemen? Does that make sense? Am I missing something here? Am I going crazy? I know I'm not going crazy. I've been called crazy, but you can't call crazy crazy. Having said that, we have Mr. McMahon in the ring. We have Stephanie McMahon, who comes out first and patronizes him, adores him, throw out all these things, nice things about him and how great of a father he is, so on and so forth. Then you have Shane McMahon, who comes out here and just kind of spits real to him, say, hey, listen, you guys have been sucking for the past X amount number of years. The ratings have been dropping. Nobody's not really watching this stuff no more. There's nothing. This authority era stinks. It blows. This new era that he's introduced for the past 4 weeks has been great, because it is true what he's saying. There is truth to what he's saying. For the past 4 weeks or so, ever since he's been in control, it actually has been a little bit better. Like I said, I've tend to not be fast forwarding through certain matches on Raw here and there. You know what I mean? Like, it's been good. So he's decided to actually have Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon figure it out, and they'll both run Raw. Cool. You know, this is gonna be good. I look forward to this. But nowhere in the picture do I ever see Triple H, or not even his name dropped. Okay, that's a lie. Someone did drop his name, but he's not in the picture right now. So this is gonna make for interesting television, ladies and gentlemen, when he does come back in, because, you know, it's like the Authority versus Shane McMahon, but both of them are basically equal when it comes to power. So this is gonna make for really good television, or at least it should. Let's just hope so. Main event time, baby. The phenomenal one, AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns. And yes, I do say Roman Reigns like that because, you know what, I have nothing against him personally. I really don't. He's worked his ass off to get where he is now, and I respect that. He's beat who he needs to beat. He was on a wild roller coaster ride all of last year, and it culminated when he actually beat Sheamus for the championship, which I thought was like the best Raw of 2015 so far. But when you're up against guys of wrestling calibers who are up there, who have traveled the world, who have won countless championships in multiple organizations, and even simultaneously held championships for multiple organizations, and you know for a fact that he is the man who you should give that title to go into the new era, that's where I draw the line. AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, let's go. This is it. This is the match I've been waiting for my whole entire life. I was about to say life. Haha, no, not really. This is the match that I was waiting for. This is the match I thought would have been good. And it was good. It was very good. It was very entertaining. Everything about it was good, except for the fact that both of them, or not both of them, sorry, my apologies, one of them got counted out. Roman Reigns got counted out. So technically AJ Styles won. Shane McMahon comes out and say, no, we're not going to end Payback like that, especially a championship match like that. We are going to make this a no count out, which is great. Good for you. Not a stipulation. Match continues, so on and so forth. All of a sudden, Roman Reigns gets a low blow on AJ. So now AJ won a match again via disqualification. Stephanie McMahon comes out, say, no, this is not how we're gonna do this here. This is now a no disqualification match. Great, more stipulation. So this would technically be a very good street fight without calling it a street fight. Regardless, you have Gallows and Anderson who come down here, too sweet, interfere in the match. Then you have the Usos come out of nowhere, start interfering in the match. AJ Styles takes flight, Roman Reigns takes flight, and then the last part of the match, which I have to admit was pretty damn cool, was the fact that AJ Styles was going for the quote-unquote phenomenal forearm, and we gotta stop calling it that because it sounds so stupid and so gay. But regardless, back on track, and he got Superman punch in the face, kicked out. He did something else, dodged the maneuver, and ended up getting speared, and that was the 1, 2, 3. So Roman Reigns did actually retain his belt. I still thought this was a great match overall. Wasn't bad. I just wish that AJ Styles would have won the belt, and I would have been in a little bit of a happier mood. But you know what? His first main event, and he gave this performance, and he lost. You can only imagine what's gonna happen when the time is right ladies and gentlemen. And he goes on to his other main event and he wins. The place is going to go nuts. I'm going to go nuts because that's how phenomenal AJ Styles is. He deserves this. I was a little shocked that he got this opportunity very quickly, but still, nonetheless, I still think that before the end of the year, he will be champion. It might even be sooner than sooner than lady. Oh boy. It might even be sooner than later. So yeah, that's it. That's your WWE Payback 2016. It had its ups, it had its downs. A match that you thought was good kind of stinked. The pre-show matches were a hell lot better. So yo, this is it. This is your boy, the Oatmeal here, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the Canadian Destroyer Wrestling Podcast. Because everything else is just a sunset flip powerbomb. Canadian Destroyer Wrestling Podcast, folks. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to the Canadian Destroyer Wrestling Podcast with your host, the Oatmeal Hero on YouTube.